Okay, so let's say you want the perfect tree watch collection. A dress watch, an everyday watch and a diver. You don't want to come in at the very entry level because, well, if you get into the hobby and you begin to upgrade, you could be left with a box full of bambinos, makos, 5KXs, SKXs. You could find yourself trying to flip them at significant loss. And at the same time, you don't want to come in with the real high-end luxury pieces and blow a fortune on a watch. So you want to skip the entry level stage and get something that will sit proudly in your watch box or on your wrist for years to come. You're willing to pay the extra few bob for a great presentation and box, maybe a Swiss brand or an in-house movement, something with a high quality case and dial, a signed crown maybe, and modern specs. If you want to build a tree watch collection that's relatively affordable, offers you something for every occasion and easily holds its own against some of the big brand collections, then I present to you the perfect tree watch collection. Okay, so starting with the dress watch, and my choice here is the Orient Star Classic. Now, this is obviously the blue hand silver dial version, but there are also silver hand and gold hand versions and a black dial version. And it comes in a beautiful presentation box here. Now, the Orient Star is the premium tier of the Orient company, but it's still relatively affordable. It's made in Japan by Epson, a subsidiary of Seiko, so it's got plenty of provenance. It has an in-house movement, which we will talk about in a second. And its dimensions are, it's got a diameter there of 38.5 mil, a lug width of 20 mil, a lug to lug of 44.5 mil, and a height of 13.4 mil. Although a lot of that height is taken up with that spectacularly domed, it's a mineral glass crystal, not a sapphire glass. It's stainless steel, and as I say, it's got a domed mineral crystal, and of course, it's got an Orient Star signed crown. It's water resistant to 50 meters, although it's not the kind of watch you would wear swimming, but you could. The watch has an in-house movement, the Orient 40N52. It has a 40-hour power reserve, which you can see on the power reserve indicator on the dial, which really, to get that kind of indicator for a watch at this price is just something else. It's a hand winding and hacking automatic movement with a beautifully decorated and designed rotor, and it includes a date function. The movement beats at 21,600 beats per hour. Now, it's a beautiful watch, and when you look at the face of it, it's hard to pick out a standout feature between the crystal, the dial and the hands, which are all excellent. It has a very vintage feel, replicating pieces such as classic Omega watches from the 50s, and even adding in drilled lugs for easy strap changes. Now, both the dial and crystal are spectacularly domed, allowing for a crazing effect on the indices from certain angles. The indices are classic 3D stainless steel arrows, the 12 o'clock mark just differentiating itself from the rest. And the Dauphine hands are painted a spectacular blue colour that constantly shifts through the blue spectrum, depending on the angle that you see it. The dial also shifts colour from silver to white to a kind of an eggshell colour, again, depending on the light source and the angle that you look at it. So if you want a dress watch with vintage design elements, reminiscent of the watches worn in Mad Men, but without trying to navigate through the quagmire of actual vintage watches, this may be the watch for you. This watch is perfect for office and formal wear, but it's also versatile enough to be dressed down for casual wear, and I often wear this on an elastic Marine Nationale type strap. The watch can be bought currently from Serious Watches for a price of €445. And now onto the everyday watch, and my choice here is the Hamilton Khaki Automatic 38mm. Though there is also a 42mm for bigger wrists. Now, I consider this watch to be my budget Rolex Explorer. It's a field watch, but it has a premium feel to it over, say, the Seiko SNK series, which just can't rival this watch in terms of build quality and feel. Again, it has a sign crown with that H for Hamilton, and Hamilton is a Swiss brand currently owned by the Swatch Group, and they have produced some incredible pieces that have gained distinction in films such as 2001: A Space Odyssey and the recently released Interstellar, and even Elvis Presley has wore a Hamilton Ventura in the 1961 movie Blue Hawaii. The watch has a diameter of 38mm. It's got a lug width of 20mm, a lug to lug of 47mm, and a height, a very reasonable 10mm, which includes a slightly domed sapphire crystal. Now, one complaint you get about this watch sometimes is that the sapphire crystal has no AR coating, either on the top or the bottom. So it's not doing too bad there now, but it can reflect an awful lot of light. The movement here is the caliber H10, which is based on the ETA CO7.111, but with a curtailed frequency. And as a result, it boasts 80 hours of power reserve. So this can go away into the watch box for the weekend, and it comes out ticking. It also has a date function, and it beats at 21,600 beats per hour. Now, some people think a date function ruins the symmetry of a watch like this, and I do tend to fall into that camp. However, I do really miss it when it's not there, and whenever I've had a watch without a date function, I'm always going looking for it, and I'm disappointed when I don't see it. So I like it here. Now, the dial appears obviously simple in its execution. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I love Arabic numerals. I love the design choice, and I think they make for the most legible watches out there. And that's one of the main reasons why I love this piece. This one actually has a green dial, which I think is showing on the camera here. And it has no decoration, the more common version being a black dial with concentric circles where the indices lay, and a red tipped second hand. Now, this watch has a white tipped second hand, which I actually think adds to the field aesthetic of the watch. The hour and minute hands are syringe shaped, the minute hand extending all the way out to the minute markers, again increasing legibility. The case is also fantastic. It has a slightly domed sapphire crystal but still maintains a thinness of 10mm. The profile of the watch is so sleek looking and extremely comfortable on the wrist. The entire case is brushed with the exception of this highly polished bezel here, which is a bit of a scratch magnet, as you can see, but it is an everyday watch. You can expect to get a few scratches every now and again. Now, in terms of versatility, this watch can easily be worn in an office setting, particularly with the default leather strap, which is actually really nice. The standout feature being this double pin on the buckle, which is another H for Hamilton, and the double perforations on the other side which accommodate that double pin buckle. It's really nice, it's really soft and very comfortable on the wrist. But I actually prefer to wear this one mucking about with a black Marine Nationale type strap. I think the combination here is really clean. The simplicity of the idea of this watch combined with the quality execution allows the watch to gently nudge its way into your affections, but once it's there, it grows there forevermore. And that's how I've often heard the Rolex Explorer described. Now, this watch is readily available on Chrono24, brand spanking new, for around $400 to $450. But if you look on the used market, you can get this closer to $300. Now, finally, the dive watch. Now, I know I've done a review of this watch already, but I just don't think anything comes near the price to performance ratio of the Steinhart Ocean 1. This is the 39mm double green ceramic. Now, I know this is a Rolex Hulk homage, but it's more than that to me. I think it's more than that really. The build quality for the price is second to none, and it uses a bona fide Swiss ETA 2824, and it just looks spectacular. Dimensions are diameter 39mm, we've got a lug width of 20mm, got a height of 13mm, which is fine for a dive watch. Again, we've got a sign crown and a lug to lug, a very wearable 47mm. It has a sapphire crystal which sits just proud of the bezel, which has this incredible sloping ceramic insert that's just dances in certain lights. The movement is an ETA 2824-2 Elaborate, decorated with a signed golden rotor and blued screws. It's a hackable hand-winding automatic movement that beats at 28,800 beats per hour, allowing for that really smooth sweep of the seconds hand. Now, the Elaborate means that it's been regulated to 3 positions, and you can expect somewhere between ±7 to ±20 seconds per day on this watch. It's got 42 hours of power reserve. But as I've said in the review video on this piece, the combination of bezel and dial are the real stars of the show here. Sometimes the watch looks like a Kermit with a black dial, sometimes a really vibrant green, and other times a dark green, and others that beautiful sunburst effect. The finishing of the indices and hands is also incredible here, way beyond its price. And the bracelet is also of a really high quality. Now, you can only buy this watch directly from the Steinhart website, although Nomad watches are also exclusive resellers. And it's going to cost you €590, but to be honest with you, a high quality Swiss caliber diver with ceramic bezel for €590 is unbeatable in my opinion. So that's it. That for me is the perfect 3-watch collection, and still remains quite affordable with pieces that you can hold on to for years. Thank you very much. Good luck everyone. Ben.